Hi, I'm going to share you another excerpt from Landscapes of a Heart, Whispers of a Soul. It's from Chapter 7, Public Transport Avenue. The title is Do You Work? To be stereotyped as a cleaning lady or a babysitter is something you need to understand of the place and mentality of the people. To be looked down as a full-time mother is something else lacking in their sense of responsibility, crowded by career and chauvinism. Del Giovanni Aviation, Central Park Building, Lugano, Switzerland. Know how to behave, listen to an inner voice, produce a karmic harvest, not a karmic whirlwind. It was almost the end of summer. Laura was hurrying up with two medium-sized boxes to mail to aviation suppliers as she hopped in the number 2 bus, which is full of commuters at the rush hour. In summer, usually, various languages can be overheard from other passengers. She caught conversation spoken in English with American twang on it, then Swiss German talking Schweizerdeutsch dialect, a couple of French but speaking in a clear, slow French tone, so they must be from the Swiss French canton of Switzerland, an old lady speaking a certain Italian dialect to another, and majority talks in Italian with a Milanese accent. Smiling at her good ears for languages, now after 12 years resident of Lugano, she can pick up easily what was being said, whether it is spoken in German, French, and Italian, and some dialects but not the Swiss German dialect. She would spot the foreign accent twang of a Yugoslav, Russian, Polish, and South American when they speak the Italian language. A lady asked her, "Lavori? Do you work?" "See?" She smiled kindly at the curious woman. "Dove pulisci?" The woman asked again, "Where do you clean?" "Pulisco a casa mia." "I clean in my house." "In quale ufficio pulisci?" The woman insisted. "In which office do you clean?" This type of ridiculous question had occurred before, and she used to be offended not of the nature of the job, but the fact that people look majority of her compatriots only good as for that field of work, cleaning offices or as housemaids. Nothing is wrong with cleaning, nor being a housemaid, but she has never done a job of housemaid nor a cleaning lady unless being a full-time housewife is seen on that level by high-powered career women or chauvinistic men. She does not abhor the idea of cleaning since she wanted her apartment to be always clean, but how on earth did such lady see her and thought she was a cleaning lady? "No, non sono una donna di pulizia, come pensavi. Lavoro in un ufficio come una impiegata. No, I'm not a cleaning lady, like how you thought. I work as office employee." "Come sei fortunata. You're so lucky." Non solo questione di fortuna, è anche qualificata, sapendo le lingue, specialmente inglese, per quello. It's not a matter of luck, it also involves qualification, and knowing various languages, especially English, that's why. To arrive on such qualification, she had to study hard, spent years of late nights and early mornings studying to maintain an academic scholarship, and her remarkably outstanding high marks were her plus factors when applying for a job, whether it was way back in the Philippines and in abroad. Employers who have seen her track of record in school and how she has performed with excellence and dedication from her first banking job, it was also fast to come back to her career life, even she has been at home for 7.5 years as a full-time mother. She answered briefly with dignity and this time no longer offended, nor offensive or defensive. She has learned to be detached from assumptions and prejudice other people like these typical-minded inhabitants or considering even the whole canton of Tisin. Many think that when they see a foreigner, a tan-skinned Filipino, they often jump into conclusion that their job is limited on the line as domestic helpers. What they don't actually admit, or others are not aware of, is that all those domestic household jobs, which they tag as lowly, but entails hard work, proper organization, and diligence too. What many don't openly acknowledge is that the ones who have accepted cleaning job are also university degree graduates, and they have something also to be proud of. However, having found jobs like domestic helper, many tread on their dignity. What what she doesn't like at all was the fast conclusion that this lady and all the rest who think that as a foreigner here in the Italian-speaking canton of Switzerland, an Asian like her and many others come into conclusion that you belong on the lowest paid job bracket, the hard labor one, and something the employers can always take advantage of because you are simply a migrant. However, if one knows the rights, then no one would trade on you, but only on the low bargain of salary offers if ever one is searching for work. In one way or another, there is a subtle or worse discrimination of job nature and salary scale, even if you are a naturalized Swiss citizen. Many employers would bid low for salary offer because for them, they always undervalue you being a migrant or without doctors or masters. They can feel the desperate feelings of a migrant trying to find a job. She knew that her train of thoughts would be abhorred by employers, but she has met many of them during the 3 months job search within the Swiss Italian and Swiss German side. She has exasperating, funny, challenging, and enlightening experiences when it comes to job search, job interviews, and even a commuter's speculation of how much she could earn judging wrongly as a domestic helper and mismatched by her elegant suit. Jumping to conclusions, branding nationalities, narrow minds, professional tagging, stereotyping, and racial prejudice are all very common in the Swiss Italian mentality, which, if she voices it out loud, the ones living in Canton would deny that. However, a wise and smart foreigner who has lived in this area of Switzerland for more than a decade would absolutely acknowledge such negative criticism because he or she has always been a victim of such one-horse town, malicious eyes, and wagging unguarded, untamed, and stereotyping tongues. The best way in this kind of situation is simply to be dignified and cool when you answer. If they go deeper, find a firm way of changing the course of conversation. If not, you'll end up like being questioned in an interrogatory room by a nosy stranger. Do you work? Non è affari suoi. It's none of your business. That is an effective, frank, cutting phrase she has not learned to use because, as much as possible, she was gentle and kind, and even if in her mind and heart she wanted to say something stronger. However, it is wiser not to be rude. That's all for today, and thank you for listening and sharing this post. You can read more of my writings in angelicahopes.nl, and my travel and haiku site is at odysseyofAheart.com. Have a wonderful day. Take care.